So here's my final message to you, because I've gotten carried away. I thought I was going to send you like a 5-minute message, but as you can see, there's no script here. It's just me going a little crazy with you, but I want to really see you get what you want this year. Don't let this year be like last. And if last year was great, still don't let it be that way. Raise the standard. If your life is perfect and extraordinary, you darn well know you're not going to be happy unless you keep making it better. That's what makes us feel alive. It's not what we get that makes us happy. It's who we become and what we're able to give because we become more. That sense of contribution is what creates the deepest meaning. So here's my assignment for you if you want one. If you want to go from conversation to some action, here's a simple thing to do. What's an area of your life right now that you really want to improve? What's an area that's important to improve? If your body's great, how about your career? If career's great, how about your relationships? Intimate one especially, or your kids, or your relationship with your creator, your spiritual side of your life. Or is it your finances? Figure an area that really matters. Decide on that area. Number one, write down what your life is like in that area right now as specifically as possible. So you might say, well, I'm 13.5 pounds overweight, whatever the weight is, whatever the situation is, or my body fat's like this, or I wake up exhausted in the morning, and you write the truth of where you are right now. So you're real clear. Or I'm not in a relationship. I say I want a relationship, but I'm not in one, and I don't seem to find them. All the good ones seem to be gone is my belief. And I really do want one, but I don't have it. Whatever your definition. Or I'm in a relationship, and God, I wish I wasn't in a relationship. I'm planning my escape. Wherever you are. Or I have a wonderful relationship. We love each other, but there just isn't enough passion. Just write the truth of where you are. The area you want to change, but write how it is. And then the second step is, this is where you got to be really honest with yourself. What are the rituals that have put me there? Because whatever results you're getting, even if you don't like the results, there's some rituals that are keeping you in that place. There's some rituals of what you eat or don't eat, how you move or don't move, how you sleep or don't sleep. There's some rituals in the lack of variety or spice or energy or focus in an area. There's something you're doing, and it's usually not one thing, it's a bunch of little things that you kind of do consistently whenever you think about getting in a relationship, whenever you think about working out, whenever you think about money. You get yourself in a state of overwhelm. You start thinking about all the things you can't control. Just write down all the rituals you have, and then here's the third step. What do you want? What's your vision? And be really specific. I want to be my fighting weight. I want to be the strongest I've ever felt. I'm going to turn whatever it is, be specific. And then, last step, number 4, what are the rituals that'll get you there? What would you need to do differently each morning if you're going to be that kind of energy, that kind of strength? How often would you work out? What days would you work out? What time? A ritual is something you do consistently, usually at a specific time, so it becomes automatic. Let me tell you something. Willpower doesn't last, but rituals can last a lifetime. I bet you have some rituals in your life right now you've been doing for years, even though some of them don't serve you. I'm just saying, wake yourself up. If you want a new year and a new life, you don't need to start on January 1st. Start today. Start with this little video. And just begin to see what happens and see how easy it is to just do a few little rituals. Don't do them all, just do 2 or 3 new things. And you know what happens? You'll get momentum. Because once you discipline yourself in one area of your life, you feel yourself doing it in other areas as well. And I always say something that my original teacher taught me. I always remind people, there's always 2 pains in life. There's the pain of discipline, or there's the pain of regret. And discipline weighs ounces, as my friend Jim Rohn taught me. Regret weighs tons. You don't want to have regret. So right now, what do you want to change? What's it really like? What are the rituals that got you there? That'll take a little homework. If you're not sure, ask the people around you. They'll tell you what your rituals are. What do I really want in depth? What are the rituals that'll get me there? And then get yourself to start a few of those actions.
Hi there. Throughout the year, I've received a lot of questions from my friends on Facebook. So we've decided to sit down and answer these questions. And let me give you my thoughts and insights and experiences. And they may be helpful to you. And questions from one person may be a question that you might have asked yourself. So let's get started.
Dominique from Facebook asked, Brian, on the subject of habits, how long does it take to unlearn or replace a bad habit, and how would you go about it?
Well, habits are very important because 95% of everything you do is based on your habits. One of my friends used to say, the key to success is to form good habits and make them your masters, as opposed to bad habits. He also said this, which was very interesting. He said, good habits are hard to form, but easy to live with. Bad habits are easy to form, but hard to live with. So I've written extensively on the subject of habits, and what we know is that different habits take different periods of time to form. Some people may try to break the habit of smoking, and it may take them a month or 6 months or 9 months. And at 9 months and 3 days, they pick up a cigarette and it makes them throw up. They've programmed themselves out of smoking, they never smoke again. So, for example, as a good friend of mine says, you can develop the habit of not touching hot stoves in about 1 second. All you have to do is touch a hot stove and burn your hand, and for the rest of your life, you will be in the habit of checking before you touch hot stoves. So you can develop habits from 1 second to 1 year or even longer. The key to developing a habit is called persistence. Is you first of all make a decision you're going to develop this new habit. You become very clear and you develop a mental picture of yourself behaving with this habit as though you already had it. For example, let us say you eat too much. Then you make a habit of using a smaller plate, eating only enough to take the edge off your appetite, and then stopping and putting it away. Most interesting thing, by the way, about losing weight is if the food is not there, your appetite disappears. It's only when the food is in front of you. So when you have it taken away, as soon as your appetite has been curbed, I call it an appetite killer. Sometimes you can do it with a handful of nuts. It takes the edge off your appetite, then remove all food. Soon it gets to the point where you don't even put it in front of you, and you start to get thinner and thinner. What you do is you make a decision to form this habit, then you never make an exception. You practice the habit every single day. If you make a decision that you're going to do it for 21 days, 7 days a week. And if you fall off the wagon, start a new 21 days. If you slip for 1 day, bang, back to 21 days. And you just keep hanging in there, just keep persisting. At a certain point, it becomes easier and easier not to do it than to do it. So ask yourself, what would be the greatest habits for me to have? Punctuality. Only 2% of the population have the habit of punctuality. That would be good. Morning exercise. Getting up and exercising every morning. That would be good. Eating certain foods or not eating sugars or sweets. One of the fastest ways to take care of your diet is to not eat anything but sugar in it. So you say, what would be the habits that would help me? Stop procrastinating, or get started on my major tasks immediately, or plan every day in advance, or reading 1 hour each day to upgrade my knowledge and skills. So make a list of the habits, and then you say, which one of these habits would help me the most right away? And then what you do is you just pick one habit. Don't try to change more than one habit at a time. But imagine if it takes 21 days or so to develop a habit of medium complexity, and you were to develop one habit each month for 12 months. At the end of 12 months, you had 12 new habits. What difference would that make in your life? The answer is it would totally change your life. Now people say, well, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. I mean, that's so difficult. I've tried all these years to do it. What happens if you join the Army, or you join the Marines, or you join the Navy, and you go through boot camp, and you go through basic training for 6 or 12 months? They drill you and grill you and train you in new habits so that at the end of 6 or 12 months, you have a whole series of new habits of behavior, of cleanliness, of response rates, of activity, action, planning, getting up, going to bed. Is within a few months, you're a totally different human being by simply daily repetition, 7 days a week. So you can do it to yourself. Put yourself through your own boot camp. Decide, I'm going to develop this habit, and pick one habit that'll help you the most. Don't try to change the world. Just pick one habit and prove to yourself that you can develop one new habit. Once you know that you can develop one new habit, then you know you can develop any habit you want. Good luck to you. Now, I've given you a couple of ideas, so the most important thing that you can do is to take action. So what one action are you going to take as a result of these key ideas that I've just given you? Whatever it is, jot it down and let me know. Remember, one action that you take that you would not have taken in the absence of this discussion can change your life forever.